Three, two, go. Hello, viewers, and welcome back to another My Hero Academia read-through. And today we're going to be tackling Chapter 247. So, last week was very crazy with all the stuff with Shigaragi's going through his big surgery, and he won't be back for another 4 months, and that's April, if I recall. And this week we're going to be continuing where Endeavor, Bakugo, Shoto, and Midoriya are, and we're going to be caught up what they've been doing. So yeah, let's jump right in and see what's going to happen. Before we get started, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It only takes 2 simple clicks. Click, click. Enjoy the episode. So on the first page, on the first panel of the first page, we see going back to what we saw in the last chapter, seeing one of the one of the children of the Todorokis, the sister, um, Todoroki's sister, doing whatever she's doing. And then carrying on with that, we cut back to the Endeavor Heroes Agency, and we finally got our chapter number 247, status of report. And we continue where we last left off with Endeavor coming out of his office after figuring out what's going on with Hawks, and he starts speaking. From here on, I will train the three of you, the number one heroes, direct guidance. But before that, then he continues his talk and saying, however, before that, tell me about yourselves. I got no idea. And probably saying that under his breath, so we're moving on. Page 2, we get more of Endeavor's dialogue, and he's just talking to the big three with Shoto, Bakugo, and Midoriya, and Endeavor just continues. What is your current challenge? What do you wish to be able to do? And we first start off with Midoriya. And Midoriya says, I want to be able to control my power and be able to move at maximum performance. And Endeavor continues, I see. Let's see. You were the kid with the Let's see. You were the kid with that self-destructing power. And Midoriya responds, yes, sir. And Endeavor remembers going back to this. So Endeavor remembers going back to the sports festival as we saw and he remembers Midoriya's fights against Shoto, and Midoriya still continues while that's going on. I've since found a method of restricting the powers to prevent self-damage. And third page continues with Midoriya speaking, and he says, however, the reason I came here is, well, how should I put it? And Endeavor's just watching. It's like, well, and Midoriya continues, I developed a secondary, or rather, a quirk. My quirk's begun manifesting itself in a different form. And Endeavor says, show me. And he's referring to the Black Whip. And yeah, not really smooth on how to saying it right. You know that either Shoto or Endeavor's gonna figure it out eventually. And I mean, Shoto is kind of clever, so he's bound to figure it out eventually. So Midoriya still shows off as much as we saw from a few chapters ago, with only Black Whip coming out of one of the Gauntlet's air holes, and still not as much. Not very useful, but Midoriya continues. If I concentrate while limiting the output power to its minimum, this is the extent of what I can control right now. without limiting the power. The power it'll overflow and end up going wild. And we cut back to Endeavor, and he continues, and he's thinking about it for a bit, and then he continues. What do you mean, what do you mean earlier by maximum performance, and what do you want to do with that? And Midoriya answers the question. Originally, this was supposed to be a versatile whip-like power. I want to turn this power from a risk to an asset. Okay, that's clever. Trying to trying to make it work. And Midoriya continues. Right now, I'm thinking about whenever I can incorporate elements from my new move, Air Force. I haven't told you about Air Force yet, have I? Oh no, I don't like where this is going. So what's going on the next page? Oh god, on page 4. Oh god, that's gonna be a lot of read through. And yeah, Midoriya's doing his little rant again. And it's a long speech bubble. I don't know if I can do it justice. Alright, I'm gonna need a lot of reading. So, yeah, you're gonna. I don't think people's minds can handle all of this. Okay, here we go. Air Force is an air pressure based long distance offensive, but unfortunately, using it requires power beyond what my body is currently capable of handling. As of the present, my body is capable of handling 10-15% of my full power without any extraneous load, but since Air Force requires about 20, it ends up going a bit above my current limitations. As a result of this, while using Air Force does not does not leave me with any major injuries. It includes pain throughout my body, ultimately hindering my mobility in battle. As such, I've recently been practicing a technique in which I momentarily raise my body's maximum limits. If I could apply this same technique to Blackwood, I should theoretically be able to use it in battle. However, controlling this power and moving around simultaneously adds another layer of complexity and fortunately extends the limits of what I am capable of processing. I've been training to both process both movement and control in parallel, but unfortunately it has not been going as well as I've been hoping. That's a long one. And we say burning, and she replies to all that. Do you ever stop talking? I didn't understand a damn word. And Shoto answers, self-analysis, huh? And Bakugo just replies, shut up. And we cut back to Endeavor, and he says, in other words, you want to learn to micromanage your power output while in battle. And Barton just replies to that, hearing that, damn, you actually got all that? Okay, I admit, Endeavor was able to pick up all that. The title of the number 1 isn't just for show. So on page 5, we see Endeavor, and he goes into a flashback, going back to the sports festival and having Endeavor see and talk to Midoriya for the first time during then. And he says, if we're just talking power, his quirk rivals that of All Might. And Endeavor thinks about it for a bit. And then he starts responding. You got quite the burdensome quirk. You got a quite burdensome quirk there. And Midoriya's just like, what? Dumbfounded in the next panel. And Endeavor continues, it seems like you're also in the same boat as us. And yeah, it's referring to what happened with the Endeavor storyline. That while fighting the high-end Nomu in that, Endeavor had to use all of his power just to beat that one Nomu, high-end Nomu, and it almost burned him, killing him. And Endeavor continues, alright, what about you? And Midori's like stunned by that, and he's just thinking to himself, "What boat?" And now we go to the next page and we continue on Bakugo. And Bakugo answers the question, rather than what I can do, I came to find out what I can't. And Burnin is just like laughing at the whole thing. You sure can talk, can you? And Bakugo responds to that, can you just shut up? What are you even doing here? And she responds to that question saying, I'm standing by. And Bakugo continues, I'm being serious, damn it. And then and Bakugo continues, my quirk explosion lets me do anything I wanted to do, even with just a single quirk. Oh, that's a bit savage there, turning the knife there.
Damn!
Just had to keep stabbing at that. Just want to keep turning that knife, Bakugo, with on Midoriya. They're having multiple quirks. And Bakugo continues, I can become the strongest. And we get a bit of flashback of Midoriya and Bakugo's childhood and during their second rival fight. And Bakugo continues, but I've learned that pure strength isn't enough to become strong. And we cut back to the 1A and 1B arc with his flawless victory. A perfect 4-0 with no injuries. A perfect 4-0 without no injuries. Truly a victory fit for the strongest. And we cut back, and Bakugo continues, in order to surpass the number one hero, I came here to find what I'm missing. And Endeavors thinks about it, and he says, this guy. And then his Endeavor response to that is, very well. And then he moves on to Shoto next, and Endeavor goes on to Shoto, and Endeavor asks, with that, let's head straight to. And Shoto interrupts, and he says, what about my turn? And we move on to chapter 8, and Endeavor just turns around and is screaming his head off. What are you talking about? Your goal is Flashfire, right? And Shoto responds to that, and he says, after years of having my quirk beaten into me by you as a kid, I limited myself to only my right side in battle. And Endeavor's just looking at Shoto while he goes on. Endeavor just looking at his son. And Shoto continues, looking back, it was unavoidable. My restraint for you, it was unavoidable. My resentment for you overweighed anything else. But after I entered UA, I began complete I began competing with these guys and everyone else. My eyes were opened. And it, Shoto continues, Endeavor. In the end, I'm acting exactly how you wanted me to act. And we cut back to the sports festival with Shoto's and Endeavor's conversation. And I think this Shoto's still going. Even if that works for you, as a student, you'll hit your limits soon. So that was supposed to be Endeavor. And we get more of the flashback from the sports festival and Endeavor's talking. After you graduate, come to me. I'll show you the path of power. And Shoto continues, but remember this. The person I strive to be is the hero I once watched on TV with my mother and siblings. Shoto's talking about All Might, and he's just turning the knife on Endeavor for all the bad stuff that he did before, all the abusement. Shoto still hasn't redeemed Endeavor. And Shoto continues, I came here of my own free will to grow grow as an inexperienced hero and become a person worthy of the title of hero. I came here to use you. And yeah, and Shotos continues. Sorry, but it was too convenient not to. Number one. So so stop trying to act. So stop trying to act all father-like with me in front of my friends. And Endeavor's just like, oh, like he gets the message. Like, oh, I see. And Endeavor still goes through all the flashbacks of what he's been going through the last couple of arcs, and he's trying to redeem himself for all the bad stuff he did. And we go through all the flashbacks from the Endeavor storyline, and in, he continue and the thoughts rave into his head. As a hero, the one known as Endeavor is an incredible hero, truly amazing, but I still haven't forgiven you for everything you've done to Mother. I'll be watching to see what you do as a father from here on out. So yeah, he's remembering from what Shoto told him. And nobody knows of all the shady stuff that Endeavor had to do to Shoto. And I guess this is more of a. I think this is Endeavor speaking and thinking about all the stuff that he's just heard from Shoto. And Endeavor says, when he came here on his own free will, I thought he had finally opened his heart to me. I misunderstood this whole time. And Endeavor answers it with, alright, I'll train all three of you as heroes. So we cut back to outside of the hero agency, and Endeavor starts continuing the conversation. Rescue, evacuation, and suppression. These are the three fundamentals required of all heroes. Most agencies are established on the foundation of either rescue or suppression. So, Endeavor is taking Bakugo, Shoto, and Midoriya outside to probably go on patrol and trying to teach all three of them while he's doing it. And Endeavor continues, however, my agency is not the same. We are grounded in all three of these fundamentals. And we see everybody in the big three gets individual flashbacks to the beginning of this arc while Endeavor keeps going. Memorize every last detail about your justification. Don't let a single irregularity slip by. Be on site faster than anyone else. Minimize all casualties by keeping all citizens as far away as possible. These are the basics of basics, paralleling processing and unparalleled speed. When I'm done, these will be all natural to you. And we go back to Midoriya, and Midoriya's thinking about the stuff Endeavor just spoke. And Midoriya's in his head saying parallel processing. It's all about putting together what you gained. This is probably Endeavor speaking. In UA, you gained perseverance, and now you will gain experience. Keep stacking one experience after another, and the three of you will overcome your challenges with experience. During this winter break, show me that you can eliminate heroes even faster than me. Surpass your limits. Surpass the number one hero. Chapter number 247 ends. And yeah, I know this is a very short episode. Probably feels like a short chapter. And yeah, this is going to be more of a training arc through this. And we've got 4 months until Shigaraki comes out. So Endeavor needs all the training he can get into them. And I hope we get to see what the other students of 1A and 1B are doing during this arc. It would be kind of sad that the next chapter that it just skips the winter break and we don't find out anything. That'd be kind of sad. But I would just like to see how the storyline progress, and are we getting anything more? And yeah, so I know this is a very short chapter now. I'll see you guys next week, and it doesn't look like there's not going to be a break. And I know that when I'm probably going to say this now, saying probably at the before like a month in their time before Shigaraki comes out, I'll probably have some words to say about what all this information and what's going to probably happen in the long game of the story. Probably like when we're getting closer to when Shigaraki comes out. I have a lot to say about this and the previous chapter. There is going to be some big talk about this, so I'll probably do that when we get like really close to the end of that. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and I'll see you next week for another My Hero Academia chapter read through of chapter 248. So until then, have a good day, everybody, and I hope you all had a good weekend. So until then, bye for now.